Hello everyone, this is part 2 of our terrain modeling series. And previously we looked at how we can create a terrain using an alpha map and create a terrain that looks a little bit like this. But if we do not have an alpha map and we just want to create a very quick terrain using our own contours, what we could do is we could go into command and then we can type in picture. Then we can select our own photo or image that we would like to work off of. Okay, so in this case, I have something a little bit like this. And what we can do is we can go over here and just trace over this image. So just like roughly trace over this, and I'm not going to trace over this particularly accurately. In fact, you don't have to trace. You can make those lines up if it is appropriate. And here, like this. So we just want to make sure that these lines are closed. So the curves must be closed for this to work. Okay, and then we're just going to go and do this again with perhaps this lower level. And I'm just going to do this quickly for the sake of time. This, okay. So we have another line. Then I'm just going to move this out of the way and maybe continue just drawing these things freehand and creating a slightly different patch right here. And maybe we can do one more just to get a little bit more variation within what we're doing. And then this bit is manual, so we have to just kind of like, take our time, select the full geometry, and then we can go to move. And then we can drag this, say 20 meters. We can just go straight up. Okay, so we've just lifted this 20 meters. In fact, what I'm going to do just for a second, I'm going to move this whole thing out of the way just so we can see things clearly in all the views. Okay, so this has disappeared now. So we'll just go back. So this is 20, and then that means that this curve needs to go and be 40. So we're going to go move, and then we're going to move vertical 40. I'm going to specify exactly where this is. Let's see, it's this one. Okay, I'm going to right click. Okay, and then we're going to right click again. Oops. Actually, this is the wrong curve. We've already displaced this one. Okay, this one's already here. And the last curve, we're gonna right click, go up higher, and go to, say, 60. So if you're using contours and they're true contours, then you would have to make sure that they move in equal increments. So in this instance, our base is at 0, and then we have 20, 40, and 60. However, if these are not true contours that you've obtained from somewhere, you do have the option to actually move these things around. By the way, if you are not seeing this thing, which is the gumball, please go down here and click it on and off so you can easily drag things using that tool. Now, if we are to select all of these contour lines and then we go and we press patch this, we can create a new surface. And I'm just going to come to wireframe so we can see it a little bit better. And this is our new surface. So let's see if we can do it shaded. There we go. So we've just created a surface based on our contours. And we can also, I'm going to delete this for a second. I'm going to do this patch again. We can change these settings as well in order to create slightly different geometries that are a little bit more sensitive. We can do the preview so you do not have to redo things. What you will see is that this is a lot smoother. And then if we're to like go to 20, right here, this is a lot deeper and it is amplified. And in fact, some of these things are kind of like, you know, drooping way below the line that they should be. So right here, I'll probably go to 10, and then preview. Okay, that looks a lot more like it. And I'm gonna press OK. So this is our own geometry that we've just created from contour lines.